okay, we got to talk about this. The big story in the news. Everyone's talking about this now. I'm sure you guys have heard the disappearance of our beloved ship, the DFF Poseidon. Of course, that's a Driftwood fleet Poseidon. The official police stance is it has been stolen, but I don't know if you guys heard this. I heard a lot of speculation. People are whispering and talking. There might have been something to do with the Oath of Poseidon remaining unfulfilled. I don't know how to take that.
No.
We have been waiting for the results and fallout of what the unfulfillment, the fact that that hasn't been fulfilled, will be. People have been waiting for some sort of manifestation of that.
Exactly. And we can't know if this is related or, again, if it's just theft.
They stole a boat.
Yeah.
Burglary.
Now, for anyone who's not
I think
fully
it's different
aware,
than burglary if you stole a boat, but go on.
yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, anyone who's not fully aware, Poseidon is the god of the sea, water,
Praise
ocean
be.
area. Yep. Big deal if you are a small isle.
Yeah.
True.
It's one of the heavy hitters of the gods
Yeah.
in general, but
He's up-
of particular importance to
There's a
us
whole-
island dwellers.
Whole pantheon, and I would say Poseidon's one of the ones that you just know not to mess with.
Yeah. He's got that trident.
You want to be on the
Yeah.
good side of that trident.
I never want to mess with anyone with a trident. That's like one little rule for me. You don't want to be on the wrong side of it. You
It's
don't
a
want
good
to.
rule.
I don't want it thrown at me. I don't want it poked at me. I don't want it like left near me, and then I step in it and it pings me in the face like a
Rake
rake.
style.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone gesticulating and like trying to articulate a point using a trident at me.
Risky.
You listen, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Risky.
Yep.
You don't want to get into an argument with Poseidon.
The Poseidon, the oath that was never fulfilled. You got any? You want to tell our listeners a little bit more about that?
Well, we all, we learned about this in school. The Oath of Poseidon. It was foretold that it was very vague about the timeline, but it's
Kids do their lovely little presentations. They
Yeah.
each make a Poseidon beard.
Yeah.
And they're on trident out of, toilet roll and things like that. And
The toilet roll tridents are
cardboard
always
parts.
They're incredibly impressive, and again, it's a big part of the culture. But we all know that we are awaiting the day that the group will ascend to the sea, which again has always been kind of a weird paradox of how do you ascend to the sea?
Yeah.
It's been like
and the analysis of that is something that Driftwood scholars have been discussing, what it means to ascend to the
Yeah.
sea.
Do we build a little pit and then we keep the water out and then we have a little ladder and then you climb the little ladder? That was one. And then you'd kind of like plop like an infinity pool, but like a very deep, empty well. It's hard.
people have tried lying down on the shore when the tide is off. So kind of like when the water comes back
when we
in,
switch
your head is towards the water.
Yeah, when we switch it off,
When we switch it off,
the tide off.
Switch the tide off.
Yeah. You can get the states of the tide are in, out, off.
in, out, off. But
Poseidon has those switches.
Yeah.
that has not worked. We have not had anyone ascend to
Yeah.
the sea yet. And
It could also be when Poseidon raises the seas to engulf all of the world. Then the sea level will be so far above you that you will ascend
exactly, we have
up
been.
into his benevolent grace.
I feel like the Driftwood Isles have been contributing majorly to global warming because we're trying to like accelerate oceans
We
rising.
want to meet Poseidon
We
as
really
fast as
do.
possible.
He seems nice.
He likes us.
I feel like I could have a beer with him.
Yeah, he likes us. There's
Yeah.
other countries he doesn't like.
He gets it.
He likes us. He
Yeah.
gets us.
Real interesting to me though that he would steal or we're saying potentially stolen or potentially shipwrecked. A big ship named after him, because I feel like if
Maybe
it
he
was
thought it was
me,
a gift to him.
yeah, I
Oh,
wouldn't
maybe.
mess with the one named after me.
That's true. You'd want that one out there,
I'd
spread
be
in your
like,
name.
10 out of 10 more.
But then
from
again,
that
it
one.
did
Good
get us
point.
talking about him. I'm like, is he trying
But if
to
it was
say
around-
You
Wow.
think
something
everything
like,
is a
did you guys forget about
publicity
me?
More
conspiracy.
conspiracies,
Everything
theories
to
from
you
Bench
is just
PerDiem.
Again, it could have just been stolen. That's also an option.
and the police.
How
were
large
just,
was that boat?
Yeah.
It was like a warship.
So difficult
big
to
boat.
hide.
I feel like we would see it.
Where would you go with it? There weren't any sort of GPS. It was a warship. There weren't any sort of tracking mechanisms.
No, it was like an antiquated. You can go and do like little tours on it. It was kind of defunct. It was basically a museum at this point.
Oh, so they were
Have you never
not
been on
expecting it.
on a day of
No, I
Poseidon?
never have.
Oh, it's so
and it
nice.
sounds like I missed my chance.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll come back.
Hopefully
I
we'll
don't know.
find
in
it.
some
Either
way.
Poseidon will give it back, or we'll find it from whoever thieves took it. Stealing a boat.
I feel like, okay, can we agree that at the very least, this kind of takes off the list the idea that we are waiting for Poseidon to raise the seas? Because that's kind of like the ball is on his court. And if he's mad that we haven't done it, but it's a thing that he needs to start, that's not on us.
I get your logic.
I understand that. That's a good point. Then it's sort of he's going to do it when he's going to do it.
When he's good and ready.
And there's no point in attempting to accelerate it in the way that we are.
So is there like something we're not seeing? I feel like it has been discussed. It feels like try to just talking about this again because these discussions are had all the time about, what does the oath mean? But I don't know. It feels urgent to figure it out.
So that we can rectify the situation with the boat, or so we can ascend to Poseidon? For which eventuality?
Both ideally, but the boat is kind of more pressing. And who knows what else you might take.
Are you particularly...
Is Poseidon taking more, or these thieves taking more? We got to find this boat. We should round up some sailors. We should get some other boats to start sweeping the shorelines.
So strange to me that you, as a gentleman sleuth, haven't worked this one out already.
This is a good point.
Was there no powders?
There were no powders in the scene of the crime.
No residue.
Okay.
Oh, does that foil you? Are you instantaneously
I'm big on powders.
bereft and devoid of any potential leads if there are no powders?
Powders is a lot of what I based my findings on, and
Indeed.
I did go to the scene of the crime. I did try to see what's up there. It is as if this boat were never there. You know, like it's the lack of evidence that it's its own kind of evidence that I find interesting. But what kind of
evidence would there be?
Powder.
Okay, but it's a boat. It's in the water. So the
powder.
second a boat leaves...
Boat powder?
What is boat powder?
You guys have never seen boat powder?
It's in the water, though. If anything that was on the boat or a part of the boat would just drift away in the water.
Do you guys know when you when you're trying to get on a boat and you have to go through security, after you check your bag?
Depends on the boat.
Depends on the boat. But if it's one of those boats and then you get scanned, sometimes they'll just have this thingy, they'll go over your hands to check for
Penetrate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like explosive material. Usually that's to test for explosive material.
Yeah,
for residue.
Tiny bit of square paper.
Exactly. They test for gunpowder as well, but also boat powder.
And
I feel like that didn't answer what boat powder is.
What is boat powder,
you told us how
Where
they
does it
look for
come
it.
from?
What's gunpowder?
Powder from a gun.
What's boat powder?
And it's
powder from a
powder
boat
that actually is flammable and will create a chemical reaction that will then set off a gun.
Something that I would argue we've seen before.
Indeed.
I think the reason we're asking, Dirk and I, is because we've never seen boat powder, and every answer you give takes us further away.
Have you seen gunpowder?
Yes.
Yeah. When we shoot the cannons.
Yeah.
On Davy Jones
that's
Day.
True. That's true. That's true. Well, boat powder is the thing, again, that kind of like when a boat sets sail or ship sets sails. It really should be ship powder when we're talking about the DFF Poseidon, but it's the little residue of boat that are left behind.
Residue of boat. So is it part of the planks of the boat, or is it something more ambiguous?
That is plank powder. That is a little different.
That's different. Okay, so now we're so similar, but we're not there yet.
How is it in the water, but is also a powder?
When you get on a boat, do you have to go through water?
Well, no, you usually just walk onto it. You just step onto it. Yeah. There's either a plank that you walk up.
That is where you find some of the boat powder.
You find some powder
on the plank?
Air moves.
Okay, let's break this down.
Yeah, air moves.
Okay.
Air moves.
Pressure systems.
Pressure
Poseidon?
Air moves.
Question mark.
Bullet point number 1, air moves.
Yep.
Bullet point number 2, pressure systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bullet point number 3, Poseidon, question mark.
Okay.
Bullet
point number 4,
boat powder.
That's too high jump.
Poseidon is directly involved in boat powder.
There's a question mark. We don't know. That's the question mark is really important.
I see. Okay. So you said there was no boat powders.
There was nothing. There was no evidence
as a result of this.
Yeah. We used, I did, I assisted the police. I just joined their investigation on the scene. We used all the black light. There was no powders, a whole bunch of cum, but no powders.
Okay. You just said something.
You want
to expand on that? And was there a reason for why there was so much of that substance?
Yeah, was there so much ejaculate?
Well, that's a boat. But you know what they say about boats.
I feel like you've said the word boat so many times and you think it answers the question.
Yeah, and you also seem to think that there's all of this like inherent knowledge about like, oh, you know what boat powder it is. I was like, oh, you know about boats, you know what happened. Like, I don't know any of the things that you seem to think are inherent knowledge that we should all
Absolutely
just possess,
not.
nor can you describe any of these concepts. But it's troubling. And also, I don't think you should ever explain away or hand wave away large quantities of
semen.
Thank you.
I didn't hand wave that as much. I'm like, that's not what I was looking for.
You seem to be like, that's fine.
It's not boat powder.
I still want to get to when there was a boat that vanished and that was left in its wake. I think it's worth figuring out maybe where it came from, maybe what the story is.
Probably some guy. Probably.
You said there was large quantities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of guys.
We are going round in circles here.
We are.
And
it's getting more upsetting.
The
more that's clear.
I never claim to have the answers. It's a mystery. If I
do seem very confident that things are okay, though.
I'm not.
You don't seem concerned about the fact that this boat is gone.
I am concerned.
Okay.
I am. I just genuinely, it feels like a toss-up. I have no clue if it's thievery or Poseidonry.
Okay. Then I would ask you to go back, collect some of this. Penny, can you help? Collect some of this. I just don't want to say the word.
You're a grown man.
Collect some of the semen.
Thank you. Good.
And maybe if you need it to be a powder, wait for it to dry into a powder, and then maybe your natural sleuthing instincts will kick in and you will finally be compelled to use it to try to solve this crime. Because you're a good sleuth. I do think you can do it. I just think you need to follow the evidence that's there, and in the void of any boat powder, we got something. We got some evidence that's there, and that's all that semen. Take that and follow that semen. Okay, Bench.
Hey, I'm real proud of you, Dirk, for finally saying the words.
Yeah.
I just, I do, of course, have my edges, but I am a newsman.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about this boat. And
hey, some of the words are just medically accurate.
This is true.
Okay. And you're allowed to say them.
Thank you.
But I know that you you're a gentleman, you're a newsman.
Some days,
newsman.
Depends on the day. Some days I just have a different sensibility where I'd like to have a classy operation here.
Very old-timey sometimes. Yeah.
I respect that. I will go back there. I will keep working on the case. Because that boat is
somewhere, and I think you can help us find it.
Mm-hmm. Keep us in the loop with this one.
And if you find it and it's Poseidon, then hey, give me an introduction. You know what I mean?
Hey, if I find it and it's Poseidon, you're all going to hear about it.
Oh boy.
Can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Now, oh my God, the clock's changed again.
No.
Where are we at now?
What?
I don't understand how it can be a 13. We're just going to take a moment while we just work out why the clock's saying 13. Okay.